In this lesson, you'll fine-tune the typography in a restaurant review for a high-end lifestyle magazine. For rich look of the magazine, the type is precisely spaced and formatted. It uses a baseline grid for aligning text across columns, correctly formatting fractions in the recipes, and decorative touches such as drop caps and pull quotes. The first thing that you'll see on this screen is a missing fonts. If your type kit is on and you can find those fonts, in the meantime, you don't need to worry about it. You can close this out. The next items that you'll need for this section is going to be up in the type section, and that's going to be your character and your paragraph and your glyphs. All three of these, you can place them on your panel on the right side. In the meantime, I'm going to place my paragraphs and I'm going to place my glyphs. So I've placed all four. I have character styles, I have character, I have paragraph styles, I have glyphs, and I have paragraph. Once you've decided on font size and leading for your document's body text, you may want to set up a baseline grid. The baseline grid represents line spacing for your document's body text. First, confirm the margins. In order to do that, we need to go to Layout and Margins and Columns, which is right here. In Margins and Columns, we're confirming that the top is 6p0, which means it's about 1 centimeter space from the top of the page. You can click OK for that. Next, select your type tool in your left panel over here and click inside of the body text. I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little better. You can see my cursor flashing right here. Next, we're going to be setting up some grids. First, go up to Edit and Preferences, which is at the bottom of Preferences, and select Grids. With the grids, you're going to want to have it a start at 6p0 and an increment every 14 points instead of 12 points. And the threshold is going to be 100%. With the threshold, anytime you hit 100% on the view, you'll be able to see your grid lines. But we're still going to need to place the grid lines first. To view the baseline grid in the document window, go up to View and go to Grids and Guides and go to Show Baseline Grid. You'll see the blue lines, just like on a regular sheet of notebook paper, they appear, but there's space between the sentence, the text, and down below. We want to make sure this text line is right on the blue line. You can align one paragraph, selected paragraphs, or all paragraphs in a story to the baseline grid. Next, you're going to need to select all the text, Edit, Select All, or Control A, and then come to your paragraph panel right here, and you're going to select Align to Baseline Grid. It is in the bottom right corner. You'll see that the text pushes down to the lines itself. The text shifts the baselines. Next, you're going to be changing spacing between paragraphs. When you apply space before or after a paragraph is aligned to the baseline grid, the space before or after the values is ignored. Now you'll make a subhead in the main story stand out more by inserting space before. Go to the restaurant in your story text and using the type tool, click the restaurant and make sure your cursor is flashing. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little more easily. In the paragraph panel, as long as your cursor is still flashing, my cursor is flashing right here, you're going to change the space before to equal 0p6, or you can type 6 point. You'll notice it shifts down to the next line. If you by chance type in 6p0, it shifts all the way to the next column. In our case, we are working with 0p6, and you can also play around with these other functions, like for example, this left indent will indent the restaurant over a little bit further. This first line indent does the same concept. It's just it will do it for the first line. In our case, we're going to keep this at 0, everything else at 0.